Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk, Rhodes University's Journalism and Media Studies cutting-edge television show, where we honor South Africa's leading and trailblazing cultural icons and the stories that shape our national consciousness. Now, today and tonight, we shine a spotlight on the amazing Dr. Leleti Khumalo, whose career spans many decades of channeling South Africa's culture and her soul. From Sarafina to yesterday earned South Africa, may I remind you, its first ever Oscar, and that was an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. So her portrayal of the movie called Yesterday was the portrayal of a rural mother living with HIV, and that performance was not only groundbreaking, it was also, may I say, soul-stirring, courageous, and globally acclaimed. Now, Leleti Khumalo's journey from Sarafina to Yesterday is a testament to her depth of artistry and her social commitment. She has worked with some of the world's most respected directors in the industry, including Rhodes, whose sensitive direction helped bring Yesterday to life. Her collaborations with producers like Mr. Anand Singh and institutions like the Nelson Mandela Foundation have really elevated South Africa's cinema to new heights. Today we explore her legacy, her craft, and the power of storytelling to confront stigma, awaken empathy, and inspire social change. So today we're talking just the truth with Leleti Khumalo. And we'll be back just after this insert. And we speak the truth because silence changes nothing.
That's what a mother is for.
Thank you, Mom.
Leading the struggle with nothing in your hands can bring confusion in the family. Jubilation, where mama
the reality.
Days of happiness, when families sat around the fire. Those were the days of stability, where mama
the reality.
I wanna thank you, Mama.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, Mama, for everything that you have done for me.
It was my responsibility.
Since I was a little girl, when I was lying on your back, taking me to church, where Mama wanna thank you, Mama, 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 Mama.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, baby. It was my responsibility.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you, Mama.
It was my responsibility.
Now, welcome back. Thank you for honoring our invitation to come to Let's Talk. Let's Talk is Rhodes Journalism's cutting-edge television program, and it is gathering a lot of following online and on the numerous platforms that follow us. We are basically storytellers like yourselves, and so there is a nexus between journalism, media studies, and the kind of media products and filmmaking that you have done. Around us are students who are studying documentary filmmaking, studio production, and all kinds of media. And they will fan out into the entertainment industry. But we are mainly speaking to South Africa today and to the world. So welcome, Dr. Khumalo. How does it feel to be in Makanda and receiving an honorary doctorate?
Thank you so much for having me. You know, when you say Dr. Khumalo, it still hasn't sunk in.
So why do you giggle?
It's a bit funny, but it is what it is, you know. And I take it with honor, I must say. I was very honored, and I'm so humbled. When this thing happened yesterday, it just took me back, especially when they introduced me. You know, they took me back because they reminded me where I come from, you know. I always put other people first, but yesterday was about me.
Yeah.
And I guess I always shy away when it comes to those things, when it's about me, you know, because I don't want to put a spotlight on me. I always want to put a spotlight on other people.
Or on an issue. Because your work has been about highlighting issues, whether it's apartheid or
yes,
AIDS,
exactly. It's
Rwanda.
about, yes, you know, it's about other people. It's about other things. It shouldn't be about me, because when I came into this industry as a storyteller, I knew, but that came to me after. Maybe should I say after when we were in New York, when we got all this glory and that.
And I was there. I saw the glory poured on you. There.
Listen, this thing, you know, I saw. I was like, no, I don't think I knew exactly what was going to happen. And again, when people after the show all the time, you know, they came to us and asked us, why do you guys have to go back to South Africa? You know, because of the story. We were like, listen, it's our country. We have to go back. It's our home. You know, it's where our history is. It's where our culture. It's where we grew up. So
it's what makes us us.
It's what makes us us, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are here telling a story, just giving you guys a glimpse of what is happening in South Africa. You know. So, yeah.
Now that you've walked us back to New York, what was it like debuting on Broadway?
I don't know what it was like, but I knew that I was doing what I wanted to do. It was something new, you know, for me. But again, it was huge because I only knew that, okay, we were going on Broadway, just doing a story of going out to the theater and perform, and that's it. But it was more than that. You know, we attracted a lot of people. And celebrities would flock in like every day, you know. We would be called, somebody is here, Janet Jackson is here, Whitney Houston is here. So every night we would go and just greet these people. And it was like we were living a dream, you know, yet we are storytellers at the same time, you know. So we were enjoying, I must say. We were enjoying. We were very young, we were energetic, and we were untouchables. Let's say it like that. We really had fun, I must say.
Yeah. I had fun watching you the previous year before the Broadway show. You came to Paris in '89 to perform for the ANC, which was being hosted by the French government. in the Mali Leroy conference talks about the possibilities of a democratic transition in South Africa. And there you were on the stage, electrifying everybody. Even though the French didn't understand half of what was going on, they were on their feet and they were singing, freedom is coming tomorrow. Because indeed in 89, that was what was happening. The Berlin Wall had fallen. It was a moment where democracy was in vogue. And indeed, South Africa could see the way forward to a democratic future. And there you were on the stage in Paris. How was that?
You know, the energy that we had, I remember, again, I will take you back. Eddie Murphy said, after the show now, and he said, I am so tired after watching this show. I wonder how they do it, you know, the energy they have. So, like you said, the French didn't understand the lyrics, but the energy that we had, it would resonate with everyone who was coming to watch the show.
And the sheer hope. I mean, the fact that you were this burst of light and joy and vitality, life itself, even as you came from the burning streets behind you and the stories of absolute trauma and horror in apartheid South Africa.
It was something totally different. What was happening on stage, what we were portraying on stage, and what was happening in South Africa at that time. It was totally different. That I understood why people would ask us, why do you want to go back? You know, that was our history, you know, and when you talk about South Africans, you cannot leave South Africa. They are always about singing, you know. So when you talk about South Africa, it always have to be about singing and energy and everything. Whatever we are portraying, even if it's sad, whatever, but people would understand it better when it comes with music. Exactly.
Now let me take you back to an earlier time in your life. You were born in 1970 on the 30th of March.
Don't make me cry now.
Kwamashu. And happy birthday for 4 days' time, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, so your birthday is coming up. And I was thinking about a number of coincidences in your life when we were preparing with the students and we were researching you and studying you in anticipation of your visit. And I was saying to one of the students who sat here earlier that I had a mentor who used to say, never underestimate the importance of small beginnings. Starting off in a dance group in KwaMashu, then auditioning for Sarafina. It seems like the hand of destiny has been with you.
You know, no one knew Uguti we were going to be this big. You know, we started very small, as you said, you know, just dancing after school, just go to that garage and learn how to dance and sing and have fun. And when we attended the auditions again, we didn't have an idea. We went to Johannesburg. We wanted to go. Everyone wanted to go to Johannesburg. It was about that. Let me see. It was a Kumbi. Yeah. I think we were 8 or 7, 8 around there. Yes, we're having fun. We're going to Joburg, you know. Never mentioned what we're going to work. No, we're going to Joburg. You know. So it started in Johannesburg and rehearsals for 8 weeks, yes. And then there we were, started at Market Theatre. And then when they sold the show to the producers in New York, they said, yeah, let's have them. We went, it was going to be for 3 weeks. And the show ended up, we ended up staying there for another 8 weeks. It was sold out before we went to Broadway.
Before you even arrived on Broadway.
Yes, exactly.
You were a blockbuster before you even arrived.
Exactly.
It's
So
amazing.
it was something that no one was thinking of, you know.
What was how do you characterize now looking back, what was the special magic? I know you've touched on it a little earlier when you were speaking, but now I want to know, what is the specific magic ingredient in that show that just made people fall in love with a country, a people, a production?
You know what? The story was very a painful story, but again, it would land in a nice way because of the dancing and the music. And again, I think people were not familiar with what was happening in South Africa. You know, people didn't know about our culture, you know, our values and our history when it comes to music. So it was all in together, you know, storytelling fused with music and dancing. It was for the first time something like that happened, you know, and then going overseas. So I think the secret ingredient was that. It was a musical, first of its kind.
Now, from the trauma of apartheid being depicted on stage to as we breaking into freedom, here comes AIDS.
Yeah,
Here comes AIDS.
yeah,
Another tragedy, another trauma.
yeah.
Talk to us about yesterday.
That one is still my number one, I must say,
Why?
because it's two in one.
2 in 1?
Yeah. I remember Darrell.
Yeah, Darrell Root.
Darrell Root, yeah. When he came to me with the script, he said, please read the script and let me know if you're interested, you know. What interests me was the story of the women from the rural areas, you know. I know how they live. I know their lives. So that got me. I said to him, listen, I'm doing this story for the women because they don't have a voice. I'm going to be their voice, you know, together with the HIV and AIDS pandemic, you know, to tell people out there what is this animal, you know. I know the life of people in the rural areas, you know. We tend to forget about them, you know, and the life they live is unbelievable. What they're going through every day, especially the women, it's unbelievable.
And mainly it's women and children left behind.
That's all.
The men in the mines
Their
or
way.
in Joburg trying to make money,
Yes.
send it home.
Exactly. And they are left here behind and they must see themselves, how they go about every day, you know. And it's not an easy life. It's exactly what's happening in their lives when you see yesterday, you know. And then again, you're speaking about this HIV and AIDS, and maybe others are in denial, but most of them, it's just this thing they don't know. It's the fear of the unknown is always something that all of us is attacked us in different ways. You know, we always fear something that we don't know. Yet again, if we teach ourselves what really is this thing, so that you can be able to attack it or to face it, it's nothing at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So when you teach these women about this AIDS, and it wasn't easy again. Talking to
I
them
could
about
not watch some parts of the movie, even like studying it before speaking to you. I can't watch it. I just
Yeah.
feel like crying,
Yeah.
and it's just too difficult still, because I don't think I know a South African who hasn't been touched by loss in AIDS. And
Exactly. I mean, it attacked us all in South Africa in different ways. That thing came.
we were number one in the world. We're at the epicenter of the epidemic.
It came, listen to me, it came, and it was like we were in our sleep, and then when we opened our eyes, this animal is here.
Yeah.
And then how do you face this thing that you don't even know what is it, you know?
And we made mistakes. Our government made mistakes because they didn't know how to attack this thing. So, and then we lost a lot of lives, you know. I'm sitting here, I lost my father-in-law, you know. I remember, I'm not sure whether you remember, in Baragwanath,
Yes.
in Johannesburg,
Yes.
a lot of people went in there and they couldn't come out because they would spread this thing to other people. So if you're there, that's it.
Yeah.
So it was something that no one knew what was happening.
And it came so quickly after freedom.
So quickly. It was like it was taking our freedom away from us, you know. It was just an animal that came and just took a lot of things from us, a lot of joy, and went.
But still you embodied the spirit of South African women going through this, the spirit of the women in the countryside, and you channeled their souls and you portrayed them on the screen. Thank you for doing that. But how do you do it?
It's something that I chose. I wanted to be a storyteller, so I wanted to use that to make sure other people live, you know.
How do you prepare for this? Does it not traumatize you too?
After, yes, absolutely, yes. You know, in yesterday, it was a very emotional movie. Every day, I would go through an emotional scene. So you really have to prepare before by reading your script and making sure that you understand the script and knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. And then every day you prepare a scene in a different way. You have to be in it, you know, and be able to take yourself out again, which is not easy. So for 3 months, I would be like that. After that, you need to go somewhere and just be on your own so that everything comes out.
Yeah.
You know, because you wouldn't be a different person if you cannot. First of all, if you're an actor, you need to be able to be in a character and be able to take yourself out of the character. Otherwise, you wouldn't survive.
You won't survive psychologically.
You wouldn't survive.
It would shatter your psyche.
Exactly, and you wouldn't do other works, different works.
So you take yourself out of it, and then you self-heal and isolate and look after your own soul after portraying the souls of others. And soon after yesterday, here comes Hotel Rwanda, another traumatic agony, a cancer on the soul of every African.
Yeah. Like I said, it's something that we chose. We storytellers. It's another way of making sure that you're taking care of other people. You know, there are people that look after you, and you're not even aware of that. You're telling your story, you're on stage telling your story, and somebody is there, maybe is going through the same thing, and that person gets healed after watching you. Exactly.
So it's catharsis now.
Exactly. You know,
I understand.
you're helping a lot of people. You know, there's this guy Utabo from here, Rhodes University.
Yeah.
He's about to finish his degree.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, Uhlala Potchefstroom. I'm saying, Thabo, well done, Mina, I'm in the arts industry, and when are you doing your law? And he said to me, Mama, you don't know. I started this thing because you inspired me, because of where you came from. You started from Kwamashu, and I said to myself, I can do it. You know, that's how I started. So when we're doing our things on stage, small screen, big screen, we inspire a lot of different people, a lot of different young kids, you know.
I have never thought of acting quite in the same way as a medicine of sorts, a healing and transformative craft. But now you're making me appreciate more fully that component, that dimension of it. Can you talk to us about Rwanda?
That one was a mess.
Yeah.
When it comes to an individual actor, it was a mess. The story itself, the story itself is a mess, and then again, here you are, you need to get into that character. You're working with different characters that are going through a lot, So when you're an actor, you're not there alone. You share difficulties with your fellow actors. You pick each other up, You tell each other, no, don't do it this way, do it that way, Because again, some of us who are not yet there to take ourselves out of the character. You there help your fellow actor. Listen, don't go in. Like, don't
go too deep.
Yes, exactly, because you won't be able to come out, So when I say that thing was a mess, it was a mess because it was not in sequence, first of all. You would do a scene that is horrifying, horrible, and then tomorrow you would do, or the next scene on the same day, you would do a scene which is so light and nice, and again on the third one, you would do a scene that is so sad. Brutal. So that thing was a mess.
When I saw Hotel Rwanda, I had memories of Udlame,
Yes.
the violence as freedom was struggling to be born in South Africa, in Natal and in Gauteng,
Yes.
in the hostels,
Yes.
in the city centers, in Natal, where South Africans were losing their lives in the most blood-curdling violence. Did you make any connections between the two?
Listen, I came from Natal. A lot is happening. A lot was happening. A lot is happening still. So as an actor, you use all of those things as your craft, to sharpen your craft. There are hostels, they fight every day, and the cities again, and Emalokshini again. So you take all of that, you mix together, you come up with something that will help you portray whatever you need to portray. And I remember one thing that helped me, again, one of the productions that I did, my brother got shot during 76. Yeah. He got shot because there was a time where boys need to go out there and fight whatever. They need to fight whatever they need to fight. They were not, they didn't know what was happening, That was 76. I think all the boys needed to go out of the houses and just go fight and do something. So in that, my brother got shot in the thigh, and he had to come back home, and my mom was not there. We were all alone, kids. We didn't know what to do.
You had to nurse him.
Exactly. What nursing are you talking about? We didn't know what to do. We had to do what we had to do,
Right.
Uksula igazi,
Yes.
and move on,
Yeah.
And Umama will find out whenever she comes back, because she's away. She's working for us, So you take all of that, sad as it is, you make it as one of your tool, you know, in portraying whatever you're portraying as a storyteller. So, like I said, Ellie, you use what is happening around you, you know, to make sure that you will, whatever you will be telling, it will be successful and people will take it and resonate with it.
Now that you are telling this story of your brother's shooting in 76, I'm reminded of the many coincidences that I've been trying to knit together about your own life. It's a coincidence that you are with us here in 2026 on the 50th anniversary of June 16.
Yes.
And you emerged from a youth structure yourself back in KwaMashu, a cultural youth structure. Then you portrayed the wife of Oliver Tambo, Adelaide Tambo, in the movie Winnie Mandela in 2011. And it is those women in that movie's 70th anniversary, because they marched on Straydom in 1956.
Yes.
Now today it's 2026.
The shuffle, yeah.
The shuffle thing and the goings on. Then again, you know, in 1996, the violence was beginning to die down, and the South African Constitution was being born out of a lot of bloodshed. And the thought that there's been these moments, wherever your movies are, if there's a history landmark,
Yes.
there's a milestone
Yes.
each time. And very frequently it's got something to do with the 6 at the end of the thing. And here you are with an honorary doctorate in 2026.
6. Wow, and it's my 40th year.
Yes.
I started in 1986, Sarafina. So my career started in 86. So it's my
40
year
years
in the industry.
acting.
You know, you mentioning all of these things, and I'm thinking now that in whatever we're going through, massacres, a pandemic, but as storytellers, we have to stand and soldier on.
Are we the storyteller? Or is there a divinity somewhere that's guiding the story that is larger than us? Because how else do you account for so many coincidences of history colliding with your own personal story?
You know, at times you can look at it as a calling. I definitely think at times it has to be a calling, because this industry is not setting most of the times, you know. So you need something to push you. You understand? You need that thing which is a passion to push you, and that thing to remind you, listen, there are people that you're working for. When I say that, I'm talking about the young ones. It's even sad these days, because there are these things that, you know, this industry is very tough. It's the survival of the thickest, you know. You need to grow a thick skin to survive in this industry. So these young ones, they need mentors. So Tina, that's where we come in. You know, tell them this, you know, this journey that you are starting, it's not easy. It's not like lemon glass, you know. It's not like nje bakubona on television, oh, you look beautiful, and that's it. No, behind the scenes, that's where the work is, you know. So you really need to have a passion, that light that always shine inside you, and you the only one that sees it, you know. And so it is a calling. And a lot of people have been asking me, but you've been in this industry for the longest time.
40 years.
40 years, you're still standing. It comes with respecting yourself first, respecting the culture, always sharpen the culture. and again, in this industry, there are lots of things that are happening. You will find yourself wanting to, if you invited in these glitz and glam events, you want to attend all of them. No, you don't need to attend all of them, because at times you will attend this one and you will get tempted. You will find things that you don't want to associate yourself with them. So at times you must say no, and take care of yourself.
Yes.
You need your me time at times. So it's the calling, so that there's an animal that has to grow. You need to always feed that animal.
Feed the beast.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about soapies. And at least this is the fun part. We've been so serious for the bulk of this. Now, my favorite was Imbewu. I loved your character, Imbewu, being Nkosikazi Wenkinzela. I loved it. And I remember sitting with a bowl of crunchies every Saturday just to catch the omnibus when it was on. But I always felt you're not really a soapy person. Maybe a feature film person.
Are you one of those?
I'm a soapy person.
Who said no? There are people, when I went to a small screen, there were people saying, no, don't go, don't.
I think I was closet. I was enjoying the small screen, but I was closet one of those.
Yeah, they said, please don't go to a small screen, please. And I was like, I need to be selfish on this one, please. I need to grow as an actor, and I cannot stay on the big screen forever. No, I seriously need to sharpen my skill, and so that I grow, and so that I get jobs that can again make me see myself as a grown actor, so that again I go back and teach the new ones.
I understand that, but small screen or big screen? What's your preference?
Okay. For me, small and big is the same.
It's the same?
Yeah, but small one, it's just the energy. You just need to
daily.
Yeah. But what is my favorite is the stage.
Theater.
Right
connect. Back where Sarafina began.
You connect with people, I tell you.
It's in person.
Exactly. You feel their energy. When they're listening to you, you can feel it, It's the energy that you cannot try and explain to the next person. I love stage.
So the theater is your first love?
Is my first love. It's so sad because it's dying down. I don't know why, especially in Durban. It's dying down. But
and Durban had quite a theatre culture.
Yes,
but an opera culture with Linda Bukosini and all those people.
It's dying down. It's so sad. It is so sad. Theatre actors are dying, are suffering in Durban. It's so sad. It's something that again we need to fight as storytellers.
Pay attention to.
Exactly. So that's my first love, and then the screens.
But
you said
many soapies.
So you said, but your favorite was Imbewu.
Imbewu, I loved Imbewu. Okay, who doesn't love Uzalo? And Generations is a national disease. It's not even a soapy. When 8 o'clock was still 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
So.
Imbewu had another story there.
Yeah.
So Imbewu introduced Leleti with vitiligo to people.
Yes.
That was the first of its kind.
Yes.
Because productions in South Africa, they don't see they hide even a small scar. They need to hide that. So when Imbewu started, I went and sit with the production, with the producers now, and said, listen, I have a vitiligo, and I want to do an awareness through my character, you know. And fortunately, they allowed. I told them it's going to be happening for the first time in South Africa, and they allowed.
And you said, show me as I am.
Yes. Can I not hide? Can I not wear makeup to hide myself? Because I was tired of that. I did it. You know, when vitiligo started, I had to hide myself, and I got tired.
It's almost like, even with the HIV, you taught us how to embrace HIV, and how to embrace difference, being different.
Yes.
And how to be comfortable embracing vitiligo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. At the end of the day, we need to allow change.
Yeah.
You know, when change comes, allow it, because it brings wisdom, you know. And again, we shouldn't be afraid of something that we don't know, you know. We go through whatever we go through, but again, you need to embrace, you know. So allow yourself to be you. Allow yourself to be seen.
And to be human.
And to be human, exactly. So that's what I wanted to do, because there are a lot of people who are going through with the condition.
Yes.
And they don't know how to deal with it.
Yes.
And abanye bati, you are cursed. I wanted to stop that. You know, I'm not cursed. I remember my child asking me for the first time, Mama, why are you like this? What am I going to say to other people at school? And I said, just tell them Mama is special.
And in your embrace of both vitiligo and the many things, the many human conditions, whether they are the problems of apartheid, whether it's squaring up to HIV, whether it's genocide at home or in Rwanda, you taught us how to be human through it all and to accept the conditions we are in.
It's very important so that you can be able to move on in life. Otherwise...
On that note, let's please go to an ad break, and we will continue just after this.
When the university started, they had just invented flight.
Catapults off the ground.
Have you seen what we're doing now? We have innovated, progressed, and strived for change. We had the first internet connection in Africa, and now we use nanotechnology. We have touched the world and even glimpsed beyond it. We have played, laughed, and found each other. And we don't plan on stopping. 120 years of pursuing the remarkable. Rhodes University, where leaders learn.
Welcome back. Now you are watching Let's Talk, Rhodes University Journalism and Media Studies innovative show called Let's Talk. Now we're talking just the truth, because silence changes nothing. Welcome back, Leleti, and we were talking about the embrace of difference as well as the embrace of changes within us as individuals and changes in us as a society. You were going to tell me about the importance of embracing change as a way of moving on and dealing with both trauma and difficulties as well as good things.
Yes, I was saying it's very important to embrace change. It's very important to know that you matter in a whatever form. You matter in whatever you look like. You matter in whatever changes you've become. You matter. So if you don't embrace you, the new you, the old you, you will never move forward. You will always be in one place.
On that note, can you please give some words of advice to emerging artists, storytellers, emerging dramatic students here at Rhodes, as well as journalism storytellers, media practitioners? What are your words of wisdom to them?
I would say that whatever journey you have chosen in life, it will never be easy. The journey that we choose, you find speed bumps, you find potholes, but you move on because you know exactly that is the destination I want to go. So allow everything that you will find along the road. And again, find someone who can maybe walk with you at times when you feel it's not easy. Find someone, walk with that person that you trust, and keep moving.
Can you also tell us what the importance of your honorary doctorate is to the craft, to the community of practice, to the actors of this country, and to the storytellers of our country?
To me first, it says, this is not the end.
Right.
This is only the beginning. Because there's a new generation altogether now in this creative space. They have their own way of looking at things. We have our own way of looking at things. So if we merge together and move forward, we will create something that is magic, that we never thought will exist.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions, one-word questions, and then you are supposed to give me 1 word back. Family.
Love.
Love. Universities.
Information.
Life.
Move on.
God.
Love.
That's it. We have been speaking to Dr. Leleti Khumalo, from her groundbreaking role in Sarafina to her enduring impact on television and advocacy, to the honorary doctorate conferred on her by Rhodes University this week. Dr. Leleti Khumalo has never merely performed. She has embodied the spirit of a people, and she has embodied and portrayed the soul of a nation. Thank you for honoring this invitation. And thank you for the depth that you have given to your craft, your courage, and every choice that you have made that has benefited the people of South Africa. Thank you for the legacy that you continue to build. And Mzansi, thank you for staying with us through Let's Talk and talking truth with a woman whose work has really transcended and transformed us and the entertainment industry. And this is the woman who speaks the soul of the nation. So Let's Talk, Rhodes University Journalism and Media Studies cutting-edge television show where we celebrate the voices, the visions, the values shaping South Africa's cultural and media landscape. So we're signing off right now. I'm Thandeka Gqubule-Mbeki, and this has been Let's Talk. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Leleti.
Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Leleti Khumalo, Umdungwa, Umabaso, Umzilikazi kaMashobane. The degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.